Hello again, sweet darlings. I'm here because as a parent and as a new convert to the faith, having only entered the church less than 2 years ago, I am feeling a little bit intimidated, a little bit anxious, I suppose, about Lent this year. And part of that is because even as an adult, I feel that this is a huge undertaking to properly understand and journey through this very special 6-week period from Ash Wednesday towards the glory of Easter Sunday. Last year was the first time that I went to the Easter Vigil, and I'm so looking forward to that this year. So that is something that I'm looking forward to, but I know that to get there, there's going to be a journey. And I am now a parent of 2 little girls and a stepmom to 2 girls. If those of you who've been here for a while, you'll know that already. And how can I bring them along with me on this journey and make it a fun experience? How can I bring those stories alive for them? And I think that this must be a question that is on many parents' minds. The idea of having to come up with activities and crafts and fun ways to explore the Lenten themes for each week leading up to Easter Sunday can seem a little bit intimidating, whether you're new to the faith or not. So I'm just coming at it from a perspective that this is all quite new to me, and I also recognize that I still have loads to learn. So I wanted to just come on and share with you a few ideas for kind of craft activities, outdoor activities, and other ways that you can bring kind of Lent to life in a new and manageable way for your family, hopefully. So I just want to share a couple with you here. This is actually for the 5th week of Lent, and I've got a couple of ideas as well as an outdoor activity. I'm actually going to start with the outdoor activity because that one is one of my favorites, and because the theme for the 5th week of Lent is kind of forgiveness, and it's the story of the woman who was caught in adultery. The outdoor activity that I wanted to share with you is something called casting stones. So really all you need is some pens, some paints, and some stones from your garden. And the idea is that you pick up stones, you gather stones from your garden, and then you encourage your children and other members of your family to write the things on those stones that maybe are holding them back from forgiving others, from being kind to others. Encourage them to write down on those rocks, what it is that might be holding them back. And maybe it's something in themselves. Maybe they're feeling prideful. Maybe you're feeling that. Maybe you've also been guilty of gossip. This is kind of a really good opportunity to also reflect yourself. You don't have to then come up with a separate activity for you as an adult. You can do this as a family. Maybe do it outside on a beautiful sunny morning like it is here today. And then you go outside and you talk about kind of what it is that you're going to let go of, what it is that you've written on your stone, how that habit, gossip, for example, how does that hurt you and how does it hurt others? And then you can all take it in turns in kind of casting the stones away. So, maybe throw them into the pile, maybe throw them into a bin, throw them over, into a field. I mean, we live on the edge of the field here, so it would be quite safe for us just to toss it over the fence and we wouldn't be in any danger of hitting anyone. But if you have neighbors, maybe don't throw it over your fence, but do throw it into a pile. And you can even, make it a little bit even more fun, which I'm definitely going to try, with my stepdaughters, I think, when they come to us during Lent, is say what it is that you're not going to do as you throw away the rocks. So like, I will not gossip, I will not be prideful, I will not fib, I will not take my sister's things, and then kind of reflect on how it feels good after you've been carrying around that stone. It feels good, the weight is gone. And when Jesus forgives her, obviously he bends down and he writes in the sand. So this craft activity is drawing with sand. Again, it's very simple. You just need some cardstock, you need some glue. You could use a glue stick or thin glue, some craft sand, although you could use sand from the garden or from a sand pit if you were really stuck, or you could use glitter or something like that will stick easily to the glue. Glue your picture, basically do the outline in glue, pour your sand on, tip the sand back into the container, and then let those pictures dry. So it's not complicated. It might be an activity that's great for younger kids. My daughter, who's 3, she really loves playing with sand and glitter, as children of that age do, but also older children who are more artistic could really get creative with a more complicated picture. That's just a couple of ideas for you for crafts and outdoor activities for one of the weeks in Lent. If you like that kind of thing, and you think that that would appeal to you throughout the whole 6 weeks of Lent, what we have come up with, we've been so busy working on this for the last month, is this activity book, which is called For the Love of Lent. I think I like the title, and we've designed it for Christian parents, not just Catholic parents. Although we are Catholic, Lent is a very special time for Christians of all denominations, and for Orthodox Christians as well, and Catholics. So it is appropriate, these resources, for Christians generally. And I want to tell you what's included. So for the 6 weeks of Lent, for every week out of that 6-week period, you've got a lovely bundle of activities to help bring those stories from the Bible alive for your kids, and also keep them busy and keep them engaging with those lessons of Lent all the way towards Easter Sunday. So in each week we'll start off the week with an illustration, a beautiful illustration that we've done of the story for that week. So this is Jesus being tempted in the wilderness, and we imagine that you might just want to print those out and maybe have it somewhere that your kids can see it. Maybe you put it up in their room. If you homeschool, maybe you put it up on a board somewhere, hang it up on the fridge, maybe you frame it. We've also included, just to kind of save you some time and make it easy for kids as well, all of the Bible references for those stories on one page. So it'll tell you kind of where in the Bible you'll find the story of Jesus being tempted, for example, which is in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And then there's a little section at the end kind of talking about the moral of the story and also what can we learn. So, for example, the temptation of Jesus in the desert. We can say that God's word is powerful, for example. So Jesus used scripture to defeat Satan. We should learn Bible verses to help us to make good choices. And also, God will help us, because when Jesus resisted temptation, the angels came to help him. And when we do what is right, God is always with us. So it's not overly complicated, but it's just something to make your life a little bit easier as a parent or a homeschooling parent, or even a grandparent who is having your grandkids a little bit over Lent. In each week, we've also got something like this. We've either got a word search or a word puzzle, and the answer keys are included. So those are with words and phrases from that week's theme. Again, that's a nice activity to keep them busy or to do together. Maybe if you're driving somewhere, or if you're just, again, using it for homeschool. And this is just another example. So that's like a crossword puzzle. So there is a mix between like word scrambles, word searches, and crossword puzzles. For each week as well, obviously I just read you a couple of them as examples, but we do have a page which gives you 2 different craft activities and 1 outdoor activity. So, there's so many different ways that you could bring this alive for your kids, but we've just included 2 craft activities and 1 outdoors. So that really kind of already gives you 3 days worth of kind of touching base with the theme for the week of Lent. Next to the craft activities, we've also done some templates. So for one of those craft activities, we have kind of done some of the work for you. So for week 5, for example, we've put together some icons for one of the crafts that you might choose to do. So you don't need to then spend time like scouring the internet for a nice picture of Jesus kneeling down, for example, with the woman in the sand, or, a dove, or the stones. You can just cut those out and use them in the craft already. So there is a template included for one of the crafts in every single week. But one of my favorite parts, actually 2 of my favorite parts of the booklet for each week, is the fact that we've written kind of an original short story around that theme. I love creative writing, I always have. I'm really happy with what we've written, because just yesterday actually I was trying to kind of show some of this to my toddler, and although we've spent quite a bit of time designing it, I didn't know kind of how she would take to it, because she is young, but she really loved kind of sitting through this story about Jesus in the wilderness. She was asking about, why is Jesus saying no, and trying to explain, why you say no to the devil, and while I was reading to her, she was doing a little bit of coloring. So we've also for each week included something like this. You'll see it complete with toddler version of coloring in the picture. This is a make your own illustration. So for every week there's kind of a background like this. This is the desert, where the children could draw, for example, like Jesus, or they could draw Satan, or they could draw something else that they would find, in that desert story, or just, doodle while you're reading them this story. So
please read it, because it says the story there.
That's right, I haven't finished the story. Okay, so where were we? The devil had asked him if he wanted to turn those stones into bread, and he said no. Then the devil took him to the holy city and made him stand on the parapet of the temple and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down. Then the devil took him up a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their magnificence."
I
And
mean,
he said
this
to him,
big mountain.
yeah, it's probably that big mountain there. It does look very tall, doesn't it?
Him got big wings.
The devil, yeah, I guess he can fly up there, up to the top.
What the devil? Why him got?
Why do you think he's putting his hand out?
Let's play devil, okay? We need to be mean devil. Asking me to these rocks in bed.
Okay.
I mean,
So you're Jesus. You're walking through the desert. Oh, and are you thirsty? Dry throat. Hungry? A little rumbly tumbly. And here I come. My little devil horns. And I say, "Oh hey, Jesus. You look hungry. Why don't you turn these stones," we'll pretend these are stones, "why don't you turn them to bread? You could do it." What do you say? I'm super excited about this. I have to say I had so much fun pulling this together, thinking about how to bring Lent alive for my own family. As I said, I'm very, new to the whole thing, and I have been really loving just learning so much about Lent while putting this together. And now actually I think this is the perfect manageable way for me to journey through Lent with a toddler and a baby in tow. So for the Love of Lent, this again, it's a 56-page booklet for children and their families, and this is the perfect resource I think for parents, grandparents, homeschoolers, and maybe even teachers, if you're running some kind of Bible study for kids, or you just want to bring Lent alive, in manageable ways. This is a full 6-week pack. So as I said, it's 56 pages long. It's chunky, so maybe don't print it all at once, but it's full color, beautiful illustrations, original stories. You can use it how you want. Maybe you want to, just do it all in one day. You're going to have a day a week where you, talk about Lent, learn about Lent, and then you're going to go back to your normal homeschool curriculum, for example. If you're a grandparent, maybe you only have your grandchildren on the weekend. This gives you a lot to choose from. You don't have to do everything, just do, what you would like to do. But I really hope that for, parents, grandparents, as I said, who are looking to bring this kind of amazing journey, this 6-week journey from Ash Wednesday to Easter Sunday alive for, the next generation, for children that they love, relatives or not, maybe they're just friends, who you spend a lot of time with, or you'd like to introduce the faith to in a kind of fun, manageable way. I think that this could be really beautiful. The nice thing is for every theme you've got a week, so maybe it's a beautiful day and it's not the day to be sitting inside doing crafts, but you've already got the printed out page, so you can take the story with you, you can take the Bible verses with you wherever you're going to go, read it in the car, read it outside in the garden, and come up with your own activities. I would love to hear how you're bringing Lent alive for the children in your life, and also for yourselves as adults. It's so wonderful to hear from so many of you about how you are journeying in faith, and what has really stood out to you, how you celebrate these special liturgical periods of the year. I still have so much to learn, and I love hearing from all of you. But as I said, this booklet is now available on our website. It's the same price as the previous Feasting with the Saints booklet that we did, so it's £3.49 if you're in the UK. It's globally available. You can download it anywhere, but I really hope that it is a blessing for you as Lent begins this coming week, and I'm very much looking forward to sitting down with my toddler at this very table and doing some coloring, doing some reading, doing some little crafts, and just bringing her closer to this incredible story, and bringing myself along in the process. That anticipation and kind of the walking alongside our Lord in the desert and through his passion is a momentous time in our life, I think, and a huge honor to be able to walk with him in even a small way along that path. But I wish you all a wonderful week and a beautiful start to Lent wherever you are in the world. I hope to see you all here again soon for another video. If you don't already subscribed, I would love to have you here. I release weekly videos about faith, femininity, and instinctual mothering. But in the meantime, take good care, everybody, and God bless.